Today we're going to start at the place that we began in the book of John. Remember when we started the Creed series on the book of John, we started in John chapter 20. John chapter 20 really gives you the purpose of the book of John. Why did John write the book of John? Well, he tells you in John chapter 20, verses 30 and 31. It says, "Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." John tells you why he's written what he's written. John was an eyewitness of the miracles of Christ. John saw everything that Christ did. And in the book of John, he is writing them down for you to prove to you that Jesus is the Messiah. So what he's saying is this: when he gives you the story of the wedding at Cana and Jesus turns the water into wine that shows he has power over the elements, what he's trying to say to you is Jesus Christ is the Son of God. When he shows Jesus walking on water in the book of John, chapter 6, you know that what he wants you to know is that he really is the Son of God. When Jesus heals the invalid who had been laying there for 39 years without the ability to get up and walk, and Jesus tells him to take up his pallet and walk, what he wants you to understand is that Jesus is the Son of God. When he heals the official son at a distance, what he wants you to understand is that Jesus is the Son of God. In John chapter 9, when Jesus encounters a man who was born blind, he'd never seen anything, and Jesus spits in the mud and he rubs it on the guy's eyes, and all of a sudden he can see. What he wants you to see is that Jesus Christ has the ability that the blind can now see. He is the Son of God. In John chapter 6, when Jesus fed the 5,000 with a couple of loaves and a couple of fish, you know, the loaves and the fish were really pretty insignificant. He could have done it with anything. This wasn't the boy's resources that God was using. It was Christ's resources that God was using. He could have multiplied anything to any number. And it was written to show you that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. In John chapter 11, when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, Jesus knew he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead before he ever created the heavens and the earth. And he calls Lazarus out of the tomb, and he comes out of his grave clothes and he begins walking around, and the crowds are amazed, and even the Pharisees are shocked and didn't really know what to do. He did that so that you would believe that Jesus is the Son of God. What John wants you to understand is that this man, Jesus Christ, the Word that became flesh, is the way, the truth, and the life. There's no way to the Father but through faith in his name. He is the Son of God.